hope so.
Hey there, Halcyon Tan here from Imprint Marketing Group. Over the years, we've had wonderful opportunities to connect and collaborate with industry strategic partners. We thought it'd be relevant to have a quick conversation with some of these partners to learn about how we aligned and share simpatico experiences for our clients and all that we do for them. Today we are starting off with David Gilbert from David Gilbert Voiceovers. We're gonna have some fun today?
Sure.
Awesome.
There's many different ways people come into this industry. The more obvious is through radio or some performing arts. I wasn't that way. I came from the business world. I used to love watching Saturday morning cartoons, and I used to love making strange voices with my, sounds of my voices. So it wasn't until 6.5 years ago, 2016, where I was part of a downsizing in a company. So I started looking for a job. And my best friend said, "Hey, what about that radio thing?" To this day, I don't know how he remembered. I'm like, I don't know. So I typed in voiceover. And so I thought, oh, okay. Well, since I'll probably have to work till I'm really old and gray, as long as I can talk, I can work. I started to go where businesses were. So I started to network.
It's a bit of a snowball effect, isn't it?
Yeah, and it became almost an obsession. I go to 8 to 10 events a month.
Yeah.
I think I saw you in the early, 2015, I think it was.
Right.
So I thought I'd go where these people are. I even have on my website that I look at myself, because of my background, as being a partner with my clients as opposed to just a service provider.
Absolutely.
Transactional.
Right, because especially with something as intimate as the voice of a brand, we were talking about it earlier. Once you get started, it's no looking back, because you establish that tone that matches the branding and all the legwork that goes into building this roadmap for where the company is going to go.
Sure.
You're not going to deviate from that.
No, and as we talked earlier, the problem that I solve, and I just realized this kind of recently, is taking the words and connecting it to the audience's head, heart, or soul. So head meaning content, I explained it properly. Heart meaning I got you motivated to do something. And soul is I got you to change your behavior.
So David, I think that's wonderful to get us started here today. We're gonna meet with the girls shortly. And they're gonna unpack a little bit more of the technical side of what you do and how you do it and how it's important to consider when we're building brands and marketing for businesses.
Cool.
Can we do a sign off?
Sure.
What's a fun voice that you can give us to sign off?
I don't know.
The one you started off with?
I don't know. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
Hayden here from Imprint Marketing Group. Today we're back again with David Gilbert from David Gilbert Voiceovers to chat the more technical side of voiceovers. So David, when you take on a new project, what's the research process that goes into creating the voice that you use for said project?
Generally speaking, it starts with who the target market is, who you're actually talking to. One of my coaches, Dave Walsh, has a formula basically that how you sound is a function of who you talk to, what are you saying, why are you saying it, where are you, all these kind of who, what, when, where, why. Unless you know all that, the how you sound may not match with the audience or the script.
Absolutely. So how important would you say tone is in your industry?
It's almost critical. If I'm talking to a fellow dad, let's say, at a hockey game, sitting in the stands, and I sound like a car salesman, well, they're not going to believe that I'm talking to them.
That makes sense. And lastly, how much does your voice change depending on projects? So how different is it to voice, say, a YouTube video versus a commercial?
Not too much, because unless you're doing a character, unless you're doing like an e-learning project where you have, I'm now Bob, and they want Bob, and I'm doing Bob, and I'm doing Steve, and they want some difference, and I'll change my tone of some kind, or maybe I'll add an accent. But in most things, it's more about the intention, the emotion behind it. Am I inspiring? Am I authoritative? Am I just friendly?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today, David. That was a really good conversation. And stay tuned for our third and final part on voice.
Hi, I'm Megan from Imprint Marketing Group, and I'm here with David Gilbert for our third and final installment of our voiceover series. So let's jump right into it. David, can you tell us a little bit about how voiceover content can elevate other content?
Sure. Well, the human voice is very, very powerful. We've been telling stories for thousands of years. So, but having the right voice, the right tone can make a big difference. If you were to play a 1950s ad today, it would turn off people because it was very much like this. It was very much hard selling.
Right, it's that mid-century voice that you hear. It's very distinctive.
Sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was because of the technology back then, that the radios were very poor quality, so they had to have projection to get that sound to come through.
Interesting. And it's interesting that you made the distinction about oral history and talked about that and how that's carried forward for how many thousands of years. And obviously, the voiceover industry has changed a lot since the 1950s, as you mentioned. But how have those shifts in the industry affected your career personally?
There's been shifts from male to female, the big baritone voices to the millennial voices.
Right.
And so they're trying to cater to the right demographic, which is always the younger demographic. But it's shifting back towards, people like me who have that sort of authoritative voice when they have content that they want to make sure that the audience knows, okay, you can trust us. This is the deal.
So what's the value of a professional voiceover in a climate where anyone can just download an app and make their own content?
Good point. There are some cases where it does make sense where the VP of sales will do the voice. Will actually be the face of the company, and they'll put the videos on TikTok and whatnot. If you have somebody within the company, or you hire somebody off some casting site or whatnot, you may not get the quality you're looking for. You may not get the connection between your company's brand and your audience.
Sure.
There may be a misalignment, and if they're not professional, they've gone through the training, they have the right equipment, the sound quality is not great, the message will get lost in translation, sort of like the movie.
That makes a lot of sense, and also not everyone's trained to make that connection too. If a professional is trained and you know how to really speak to people and on their level, and you know what people want to hear. So I guess that's really the value of it too.
Sure.
Yeah, well, thank you for sitting down with us. It was really great to talk to you and
My
learn
pleasure.
more about what you do. And for all of you out there watching this, don't forget to check out part 1 and 2 of our interview series with David. You can go to our profile and see it there. And yeah, it was great to talk to you, David. Thanks.
Me too. Thanks.
See you later.